You mentioned all those names that are kind of on their way out of the division a little bit. Is that why you're trying to get these fights in as many as possible now? Because once they're gone, like you look at the great fighters in the sport, they have these names of the former champions and stuff on their resumes, and it's important to try to get as many of those as possible before they move on for your legacy.
Yeah, of course. It'd be nice to get all the future Hall of Famers, because like Gaethje, Poirier, definitely Charles. Like, if I could pick one of them to fight, it would be Charles Oliveira. He's got the most submissions in UFC history. Former champion, defended the belt twice. Well, missed weight one, but I'd still call that a defence. And I think me and him stylistically it'd be a brilliant fight. But as I say, I think Dustin's only having one more than retiring. But Gaethje's another fight that I'd love to have. These are all names etched in the history of the lightweight division. They're all names that everyone knows and everyone recognises. So beating people like that, just be boss.
Yeah. Start with both Justin and Paddy. Justin, I'll start with you. You know, a lot of people assumed one of you would be involved in this lightweight fight. I don't think anyone thought it would be an interim fight. They assumed it would either be Ilya in there, and if it was an interim, maybe it would be Arman. So I guess how far back did you know it would be Paddy? And is there any disappointment that it's not undisputed or, you know, Arman, who's highly ranked?
No, it's no disappointment at all. I mean, everything on paper, interim champion is the same as a champion on paper, contract-wise. And that's what we fight for. This is my job, and it's the biggest opportunity for me. I didn't know a long time before they announced the fight that it was going to be Paddy. I think they were waiting to see if Ilya was going to fight, and you know, I think that variable was kind of unpredictable. None of us knew when he was going to fight. That's what I kept telling everybody. Like, whenever Ilya fights, I want to fight. And you know, it turns out he's going to sit down for a little bit. So Paramount, this is you know, they need Michael Johnson versus Justin Gaethje coming out party, and Paramount, UFC combining. I mean, this is the fight that everyone wants. We're going to gain massive fans for the UFC, entertainment business, and we're the most I'm the most entertaining fighter in the world. And this guy's pretty close behind me. So
I think everyone's a tough fight in this division, especially the top 15. You're not getting an easy fight. It's as simple as that. Every single fight in the top 15 at lightweight, it's the most deep division in the world when it comes to mixed martial arts, 155. So any fight is going to be a tough fight, especially now I'm looking up the rankings, know what I mean? So every single fight that I have now, it's going to be a tough fight.
I don't know. We'll see.
What do you want? What do you still want at this point in your career?
I mean, I want to fight for the belt, obviously. It's a much different matchup than I just had. They tried to give me a donut. I took a bite, but I gotta get back to running. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
Same question for Paddy.
Well, I was half preparing for Ilya, to be honest. I was doing little bits in training camp for Ilya. And then, like 2 days before the announcement, I got told it was Justin. But it's a privilege to share the octagon with such a legend. And it's going to be unbelievable to get in there with him. And as he said, until Ilya comes back, this is the real belt. People call it a fake belt all they want, but until Ilya comes back into the octagon, this is the belt. Me and him are fighting for the lightweight championship.
When Conor and Sean O'Malley were on the rise, they used like this phrase, like they always knew this would happen. They couldn't really describe the feeling, but they always knew they would be this superstar even before they were pros. Did you have that feeling at all, or did you just kind of ride the wave?
No, I always said that. I always said where I met it. I always knew that this was coming. I always knew that this was in my future. That's why it hasn't fazed me at all. I just took it in my stride because I said from day one that this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be one of the biggest superstars in this sport, and I'm going to be a world champion one day.
Yeah, just one more for you, Justin. Obviously a super interesting time at lightweight right now, a lot going on. This fight will impact things too. Where do you feel you stand? I know you made it clear you wanted a title shot. Are you confident that's coming?
Yeah, I mean, that's the fight that I want. You know, obviously I'm biased. I'm going to fight for what I feel like I deserve. But he feels the same. She feels the same. We're all biased towards ourselves.
Another one for Paddy. A lot of fighters, when they face Justin, they don't look the same after. You know, it's like a car crash in there. So I guess how are you approaching this fight? And can you even expect anything when you're preparing for Justin Gaethje?
I'm obviously open. It's him what doesn't look the same after this fight, not me. That's how you prepare for it.
Quest for the champion, Cale Harrison.
I've said the same myself. The old guard's changing. The old guard's going to fall out, or they're either all going to retire or they're going to end up on a trajectory like Tony Ferguson, because they're all getting on. Like, I think most of the top 10 is over 38. Well, 35, sorry. Like Beneil, Moicano, Chandler, Poirier, Gaethje, Charles. I don't know how old Gamrot is. I think Dan Hooker might be over 35 as well now. So the top 10 at lightweight in the next 3 years is going to be completely different, apart from me and Armin.
Just lastly, for Justin Gaethje, Justin, I know the last time you won that interim belt, you threw it on the ground in the cage, says it wasn't the priority for you. Do you have different feelings towards it this time and what it could mean at this point in your career?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that it wasn't a priority. It was that I knew Khabib was next. And if I was going to sit there and think that I was any kind of champion with that belt, with Khabib being next, I think I was, going to be foolish. I needed that mindset to prepare for that fight, and he beat me. And but ultimately, like I said, this gets us paid as a champion, and it definitely gives me the chance to fight Ilya. I want to fight Ilya. I want to play spoiler just like I did in Khabib and Tony. I'm going to fuck this up for everybody, and there's going to be no Paddy and Ilya. I'm going to do the same thing I did for that fight, and then I'm going to fight Ilya on the White House card if he's ready to fight again. We'll see when he's ready again.
Last one for me. 1 year from now, do you think you have the UFC title?
I fucking hope so. 2026, lad. I want that belt wrapped around my waist.
Question for Paddy Pimblett. We know Justin has been in some absolute wars throughout his whole career, even before the UFC. What do you expect from him going into this one, and how do you expect, how do you see him if he goes into a brawl type of fight here?
I expect a war, obviously. Like, Justin Gaethje is one of my favourite fighters to watch. He's your favourite fighter's favourite fighter, and it's going to be a pleasure to get in there with him. I'd love to have a brawl for 5 rounds. As he said, him versus Michael Johnson, how he introduced himself to the UFC. I'd love to have a fight like that, but I don't think it'll pan out that way. But let's see what happens. Hopefully, I'm getting a performance bonus and a fight of the night bonus.
You have some of the best nicknames for people. You've got sausage, you've got chorizo. What are you going to nickname Justin Gaethje?
Nothing.
That one's easy. Gay cheese.
Gay cheese. Nah, I'm not going to make that stupid mistake James Vick did and call him Homer Simpson and get knocked the fuck out. So, to me, he's a legend, lad, and I'm not going to disrespect him. It's as simple as that. I think people will move the goalpost with me up until I have that lightweight title wrapped around my waist. Put anyone in front of me and I'll smash your face in.